In terms of investing, right? So for you, you've invested in a bunch of companies, many that are successful, right? So I think after selling Laura Mercier, you joined Castanea and you invested in Tatcha, First Aid Beauty, Urban Decay during the first kind of round of Urban Decay, which all got acquired by strategics, Unilever, P&G, L'Oreal, respectively. What do you look for prior to making an investment or prior to saying, like, I think this is a brand we should invest in? What are the kind of pillars that you're looking for?
Great question. So I started with Castanea, which was owned by the same family that owned Neiman's and Bergdorf's.
Okay.
That's, like people wonder, like, how did I, without my Harvard MBA, without any MBA for that matter, how did I get with this group? And that's how. So they sold Neiman's and Bergdorf. Therefore, I had to sell Laura Mercier. They owned 51%. They also owned 51% of Kate Spade. We both had to sell. But having said that, then they said to me, do you want to do beauty in private equity? So the first company available, it was for sale, or it was Urban, and it had sold a couple of times, actually.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the first go around. Okay.
No. It had sold to LVMH very early. And but anyway, we bought it from the Phallic family in Florida, and we bought it 100%. And it's just interesting. They were doing 40 million in revenues. We paid 40 million.
You don't see that very much anymore.
No. And then we did sell it in 36 months for about 360, something like that. So, but what I learned is, it was a great brand. First of all, I didn't want to ever do anything like Laura Mercier. That's my heart. So I didn't want to compete. And Urban was just diametrically different. She went for an edgy girl, a girl that wore lots of color, that was really more fun. We were trying to be chic, classy, and I loved that differentiation. So I wanted a founder, and Wendy Zomner was still there. She was the Urban Decay girl. She still was the head of creative. And she had just created a palette for Christmas called Naked. And when I saw it at the board meeting, and I remember it was my birthday because it was December 4th, she said, "Oh my God, we sold out. It's for already." And I go, "December 4th, you sold out?" And I just looked at it. It was 10 neutral eyeshadows, but she had named it Naked and written Naked. So great. This long. And I've heard her speak, and she does give me this credit, so I appreciate it. But I'm the first one that said, keep doing it. This isn't a Christmas thing. This is real. And I kept thinking Naked could be a franchise.
Yep.
So we did, Naked Lips, Naked Skin, etc., and became a huge part of the business. But I think my strength is if you're a great entrepreneur, you're true to your brand. I know with limited time and money, because that's what private equity has, limited time and money, what levers to push and which levers to let go. And try to take a brand. We bought brands, didn't buy brands, we bought Urban, but I'm sorry, we invested mainly between 15 and 40 million in revenue. So we tried to get you to 100 plus so we could sell you to a strategic.
Yep.
And we didn't buy any brands that were not profitable, but we bought brands that maybe were barely profitable, and we could see a road to serious profitability.
Did you have any that didn't work out?
Not at Castanea. I personally I've done several on my own. I did do Dollar Shave Club, which is a great win, but I did Sugarfina, which was a great disaster.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did Sugarfina. What I learned from Sugarfina, and this could apply in beauty, very smart entrepreneurs who had a very clever brand, but I'm going to say this on your podcast. They didn't I wasn't on their board. That's another thing. I won't invest in any other company if I'm not on the board.
Yep.
And not that I could have saved Sugarfina. I couldn't have, because they had great people on their board.
Yep.
But they truly, I think they chose to just follow their own path. Yep. And I think I need an entrepreneur that will listen.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean they do what you say, but they're listening.
Yep.
And and really they know who to value and who not to value. So, that to me was a great disappointment. That one.
If there were any changes they could have made that would have helped the company, or that, I mean, obviously you never know, right? But if they had like, and this doesn't have to be your advice, but imagine they are saying like, oh, I would have done this differently. What do you think some of those things would have been?
I think one key one is they were going heavy into retail, their own stores, at a
Mm-hmm.
time where I think it could have been a brilliant brand online.
Yep.
It just should have had the best website. I just think it just that it was a natural. It could have done phenomenal that way, and they had one, but the focus was on the retail stores, and it was not the time. It was not the time for that, and I think that's another thing when you're doing your own business plan. What's happening in now? What is happening now? Yes, study history, what works, what builds great brands, but what is happening now and how applicable is it?